What's up, everybody? Welcome to the channel, coming to you straight from the companion app, and I'm getting ready to start my champs for the weekend. Obviously, I play 3 different football games, grinding out content, so I don't get to start as early as I used to, but I look forward to this every single weekend. Hopefully the servers are better. Leave in the comments if you've been playing champs, how the servers have been for you. The delay, the lag, whatever you want to call it, has been pretty brutal, but the show must go on. With that being said, as you see, this is not the 4-2-1-3, which is an absolutely dominant formation, and you will no doubt face it a lot because it has great attacking options and is still solid defensively. Now, with that being said, when two teams go into the 4-2-1-3, many times it can offer a bit of a challenge, almost like a stalemate, if you will, or it can also turn into a goal fest. And as you see here, the 4-3-3-2 is a way that you can have the same great 3-pronged attack, all the attacking options that the 4-2-1-3 gives you, plus a little bit of a trick to even get a stronger attack with 2 CMs working up. I'll go into that in a bit. And with that 3 central midfielder setup, you will actually be able to snuff out those through passes that many times get you from the 4-2-1-3. So we'll have more about that as we go. However, I want to go into the players that I am using. Emiliano Martinez in goal. The only time I will change him is if I upgrade to his team of the year or get Buffon, because Buffon has the far reach plus, which I believe is the most OP in goalie playstyles. Emiliano Martinez, though, not only is he my favorite goalie in real life, he's also still a beast even without that playstyle plus. So he does just fine, even as 88 for now. Right back, and evolves Zambrotta, who's a monster. As a stay back, right back, when I need him to zip up the line, he's great in the air, just all around a beast. And if I ever needed him to, he could also play on that left side, which I won't need him to because I have the Mendy SBC. Just a few weeks ago, I did him. And besides Theo Hernandez, he is, as you all know, the most dominant in FC year after year. This card is no different. Plus, I believe he's better than Theo because of that fullback plus option. Many people play Theo on the fullback without the plus or the plus role, but I did a video on this and I showed where he is a beast on the ball or defensively when he's around the ball. However, his positioning without that fullback plus or plus does take a hit, and if you have your wingbacks on anything but that fullback setting, you're not getting the best setup for your wingbacks. That's why I truly believe Mendy is the best option. So if you did him, kudos to you. At center back on the left side, Gehi, a lot of you did him for your team of the year, Evil Evolution. If you didn't, you're absolutely missing out. I'm sure you have a great player that you did, but I'm telling you, Gehi is one of the best center backs without a doubt. Moving on the right center back side, I have Capita. Just finished his SBC, and I already know he's well worth it just from previous years. But not only that, I got to use his loan card, and he is a beast. He brings kind of the best of both worlds between those smaller, agile center backs, which are great right now for this current meta. And he can also get in there and win duels. He still has that physical side to him as well. So he's not the biggest, but he's not as small as, say, like a Cordoba or a Cannavaro, who are animals around the ball, but sometimes can lose those physical battles. No matter how strong, it says they are, those smaller center backs have a tendency to lose those, and it can sometimes cost you. So Capita brings the best of both worlds, an absolutely dominant center back, definitely one of the best in the game. Now moving on to the midfield, you have a lone CDM in the 4-3-3-2, and you want a player like Caicedo. I had his previous Showdown card evolved, and he was a monster. Now he's just even better with jacked up stats and even more playstyles. He is similar to Capita in a CDM role where you have the best of both worlds from a smaller, Conti-like CDM and one of the bigger Rodri or Declan Rice type CDMs. And what I mean by that is he is agile enough to get around. He's going to have a ton of interceptions, right? Make a ton of tackles. But he also has excellent passing. That's somewhere that Conti lacks. And he also has the strength to win those type of duels where you need a physicality. So the best of both worlds. Brilliant defensively, brilliant passing, and just perfect for this lone CDM role in this 4-3-3-2. Now moving on to your 2 CMs. This doesn't matter which side you put these settings on. For me, on the left side, I have Guimaraes as a box-to-box. He's great. Again, defensively, he does not have defensive playstyles, but he has that aura. Now, Attacking-wise, brilliant. Passing-wise, great. Shooting, good enough. And he will get up and down the field. He will be able to support in the attack as well as support Caicedo in running that midfield, being the first line of defense, helping snuff out the attacks. Many times, your opponent will get the ball, and both Caicedo and Guimaraes will play a role in intercepting before the opponent even can get anywhere near your goal. On the other side, I have Szoboszlai. You want a attacking-minded CM in this role, and Szoboszlai is perfect. He will be a playmaker from the CM role, almost operating like a cam. Only he will help just a bit, especially when you lose the ball and the opponent is trying to get the ball transition into the attack. He will help potentially intercept the ball there. Another CM that's not really there for defensive roles. He's just starting a little bit deeper, almost like a cam, and he has excellent shooting, excellent passing. Both him and Guimaraes will be great support for your front three in this 4-3-3-2. Now moving on to your wingers in this three-pronged attack, this is where it gets to be exactly like the 4-2-1-3 as far as your wingers go. Now, you see I have Neymar and Maradona. The Maradona is the 92 upgraded version, the winger as well, and Neymar is the upgraded, evolved, I should say, 88 version. Both of these two players, obviously two of the best dribblers in the game that can both finish. Neymar doesn't have the highest of finishing like Maradona does, but you know he's the type of player where you throw stats out the window. With the 5-star weak foot, 5-star skills, Maradona with that 5'5 frame, just both brilliant, always carving up defenders, always burying the ball, or they can create chances. And this is where it gets tricky for your opponent, because instead of like the 4-2-1-3, which many opponents face over and over, where you just have that cam in the support role, in the 4-3-3-2, these wingers will get the ball through just like the 4-2-1-3, but then you will have Guimaraes shooting up the field as a box-to-box, so he'll be supporting the attack, and you have Szoboszlai as that playmaker who will almost be like a cam in the attack. So instead of having to worry about 4 players in the attack, your opposition has to worry about 5 players, all of which are very dangerous, especially when you play the ball back to either Guimaraes or Szoboszlai. They're both capable of playing that killer pass so you can finish the ball. And that's if you even need to trail the ball. Many times you'll play it through and you'll go straight to goal just like you do in the 4-2-1-3. So that is where the attack is actually more dangerous, which is crazy to say, but it is because you have that extra player than the 4-2-1-3. And last but not least, your striker will be on advanced striker, and he will be on attack. Simply put, you'll have him running through on goal. Sometimes he'll get the ball back to goal, but many times he'll just be running through on goal, bearing the ball as a striker does, sometimes receiving it from the wingers and just tapping it in. And moving on to the build-up style, you will go counter just like you should in the 4-2-1-3. This is because your attackers, as soon as you win the ball, will start zipping up the field, making those threatening runs, and you simply just have to play them through. Or receiving that killer pass from either, in my case, Guimaraes or Szoboszlai, for you, whoever your box-to-box and your playmaker CM are. So, that is your starting 11. Butragueño, by the way, insane, as you can imagine. One of the best dribbling strikers with incredible finishing, 5-star weak foot. He only has 3-star skills, but it really doesn't matter because with his left stick dribbling, you don't need skills anyway. Now, could you go balanced and play more of a build-up style where you involve Guimaraes and Szoboszlai? Absolutely. The 4-3-3-2 gives you those diamonds, those triangles, whatever you want to call them, those passing options to work the ball up. So if that's more of your style, this formation can work 100% on balance as well. But I strongly recommend you go with counter. You play those through balls, and you bury them in the back of the net. Now, for your line height, you want to go 91, which is aggressive. The reason why you're doing this is because, for whatever reason, I guess you can call it a glitch, even at 91 height, even though it says that, you will actually still be at the 70 height where you have a high line, your defenders are working in that offside trap, right? Which allows you to be further up the field, put that pressure on the opponent right away. It forces them to make quicker passes, which rushes them, and they make mistakes. You win the ball back. Many times your defenders, especially your wingbacks, can step in front of particularly your opponent's wingers, or maybe even sometimes your center backs stepping in front of their strikers, and you win the ball and go right back onto the attack. So On top of that, with aggressive, again, you'll have 70, even though it says 91. And then aggressive instead of high means you'll have that extra little bit of pressure, almost like a revamped version of constant pressure. Now, it's not as OP as constant pressure was, and your players do not lose stamina like the old constant pressure. It's just that same high pressure, like a high line. Those players who use 70, the same type of pressure, but kicked up 10 notches, right? Which forces your opponent to move even faster and make even more mistakes, and you win the ball that much quicker. You get the point. Go with 91. Just try it out. If not, of course, you can go 70, or you can also go with the balance 50. Maybe you prefer that. It's more towards your play style. But for all of my players who like to pressure the opponent and try to win the ball back right away, as soon as they lose it, they want to win the ball back right away with pressure. This is the way to go. 91 line height. You'll play. It's at 70 depth and have just that extra super pressure, if you will. Now, moving on to player roles, we'll start with the easy stuff. Your goalkeeper and back four are the same as probably most all, if not all, of your tactical setups. Goalkeeper, sweeper, keeper, and build up. Your wingbacks are on fullback and defend. Your center backs are both on defender, defend. Simply put, this is the best setup for your back four and your goalkeeper. I know you've got so many tactics you've already went through before, so I won't go into detail with those. We will get into what makes this 4-3-3-2 so much more potent than any other formation to snuff out the 4-2-1-3, and that makes it just as, if not more powerful than the 4-2-1-3 in the attack. And that all starts with your CDM. You will have him on holding and ball winning, or I should say him or her. The reason for this is you want that CDM in that classic number 6 role, ready to snuff out anything the opponent throws at you down the middle. And then we get into our secret weapons, your CMs. We will start with the left side. Remember, the sides don't matter, but for me, my left side is box to box. You want this player shooting out the field, coming back to help. They're just as important on both sides of the ball as that extra supporting player that can overwhelm either your opponent's offense or defense. Now, for me on the right side, I have my other CM as a playmaker and attack. Now, the reason why I have my CM playmaker, in this case for me it's Zoboslai, on attack rather than roaming is because both him and Guimaraes will be operating up and down the field in those seams, the same seams where you play those through balls to your three-pronged attackers in either the 4-2-1-3 or this 4-3-3-2. That's where Guimaraes and Zoboslai will be filling in those holes, right? Guimaraes on both sides of the ball and then Zoboslai mainly on the attack. So I don't want Zoboslai playing roaming and kind of messing up those supporting options. You'll start to see the patterns form in game, and if you have your CM playmaker on roaming, they won't always be in that position. Whereas if you get used to where these players are in the support, you will start pinging the ball. You'll be able to do it in your sleep, and you will be extremely pleased with this 5-player attacking monster of a formation and setup. And last but not least, the 3-prong attack that has been crushing everyone in the 4-2-1-3. It will do the same in this 4-3-3-2. So for your left winger and your right winger, both are on inside forward and roaming. You absolutely can do attack, but unlike the CMs, you want those wingers, if they're on roaming, to find any gap they can to create chances, and that's what they will do, especially with the great attacking positioning that both, in my case, Neymar and Maradona have. No doubt at this point in the game, you have two wingers that have top attacking positioning. If for some reason you don't, of course you can go attack and it will be more linear. But if you have inside forward and roaming, these wingers will be shooting down the line for those through balls, but also they'll be looking for any type of seam to wreak havoc on your opponent. Last but not least, your striker will be on advance forward and attack. The reason why I want my advance forward on attack here is because I always want them in the middle looking to get through on goal. Simple as that. You have other players to do the other kind of work elsewhere on the field. Keep that striker right down the middle, close to goal, looking to finish the ball at all times. And that, my friends, is the 4-3-3-2. Get out there, dominate with this setup, and then come back in the comments section and let me know how it worked for you. Good luck in champs, good luck in rivals, good luck in friendlies, anywhere and everywhere you're playing. Keep on grinding, keep having fun, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.